Apple pie might be America's favorite dessert, but these 3 forgotten pie flavors are proof that you never really know how good things can get until you dig a little deeper. Starting with the icebox pie, which dates back to the early 1800s, way before the modern refrigerator existed. Back then, iceboxes were exactly what they sound like: boxes packed with ice used to keep food cold. Much like the kitchens of the time, the pies that came out of that era were simple by necessity. In fact, most of them didn't even require baking, just a filling that could set on its own, often with the help of gelatin. The most well-known version of this is the lemon icebox pie. Made with just lemon, eggs, and condensed milk, it's got a subtle tartness that puts it somewhere in key lime pie territory. And while you can still find it in parts of the South today, it's nowhere near as popular as it once used to be. Next up is the peanut pie. And no, that's not the same thing as a peanut butter pie. Think of it more like a pecan pie's long-lost cousin, made with whole peanuts, corn syrup, eggs, vanilla, sugar, and butter. The recipe for this classic goes back to the late 1800s, and for a good stretch of time, it was a bona fide staple in kitchens across the country because of how cheap and easy it was to make. In fact, the recipe was so accessible to most households that it even earned itself a pretty telling nickname: the poor man's pecan pie. Nowadays, it survives mostly in parts of Virginia, though modern versions sometimes get an upgrade with chocolate or whiskey mixed in. Finally, there's the pineapple pie, which had its heyday in Florida during the late 1800s and early 1900s when the state was one of the country's leading pineapple producers. The filling was simple: sugar, egg, pineapple, and citrus juice in a lard or shortening crust. And it was so popular that it stayed relevant well into the following century. Reportedly, even country legend Johnny Cash was a fan. Today, the closest thing you'll find is in Filipino bakeries, where pineapple pie takes the form of handheld, dough-wrapped triangles. Because nothing screams worth trying like a recipe that outlasted the era it was born in.